Today I'm doing the Thanksgiving budget meal from Aldi. I wanted to give you ideas on how to have a cheap yet enjoyable soul food Thanksgiving dinner. I ended up spending $28.55 out of pocket, and I was trying my best to stay below that $30 budget, but y'all know how these prices are set up.
Warning. There will be ingredients used like eggs, milk, butter, spices that were not purchased during this transaction.
I know a lot of people got hung up on the fact that I didn't include eggs, milk, butter, salt, pepper, things like that. Those are ingredients most people already have in their fridge or pantry. So I didn't include those. I have those ingredients in my fridge or pantry. So those are not included in my overall total. What I did do is I included all of those things at the end of this video. You'll get to see how much all of those things cost, like the buttermilk, eggs, and spices. I have those prices at the end, but I only bought things that I needed to complete my Thanksgiving dinner. Now, when I did this version of the $20 Walmart Thanksgiving dinner challenge, I used turkey cutlets. This time around, I'm going with roasted chicken because I do know everybody don't like turkey. My sister, for one, she does not eat turkey. So there are people out there who do not eat turkey. So I want to provide an alternative to turkey. Before I get into the menu, I did want to say, if you are struggling to afford Thanksgiving dinner, please reach out to your local church, as they are having food drives and giving out free turkeys in addition to all of the side items that come along with it. Please reach out to your local church if you are struggling to afford groceries for Thanksgiving. Y'all, we have to look out for each other. Let's take a look at today's menu. I'm going to be cooking roasted chicken, cabbage greens, candied yams, dressing, mac and cheese, and a peach pie. So let's head over to Aldi and grab all of these ingredients, and then we're going to go in the kitchen to get to cooking. Here is everything that I got at Aldi. I ended up putting back 1 pie crust, 1 box of stuffing mix, and 1 can of peaches. And that's because that would have sent me over my $30 budget. And we are not trying to go over budget. I figured that I would just have to make it do what it do with the ingredients that I have. But anyway, let's get in this kitchen and let's get to cooking. I'm starting with cornbread because it has to chill in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours after you bake it. I'm making dressing, but this time I'm using the chicken flavored stuffing mix instead of cornbread. So we'll see if there's a difference between using chicken flavored versus cornbread. Now, if you have extra money in your budget, you can add rotisserie chicken to your dressing. And you can get it already cooked at Sam's or Costco for $4.98. Or you can use sausage. Now, I always go with the sage flavor for my dressing. There are so many ways you can level up your dressing. Okay, so y'all, check this out. Here's a quick tip for your cornbread. Now, if you want that nice tall crown on your cornbread, let it sit for about 4 minutes before placing it in your baking dish or muffin pans. After I let mine sit, I always give it a quick stir before pouring it into my muffin pans. here is that vegetable chopper that I have a love-hate relationship with. It's showing out today because I have this camera on. Any other time, I would have to struggle to get that top to close. But yeah, the dressing that I'm cooking today is a little bit different from the last time I made it. Now, when I did the Walmart one, I bought the pre-chopped bag of onions and red peppers, which saved me a little extra out of pocket. But at Aldi, I had to buy everything separately because they didn't have the pre-chopped ones. So I'll be making these using what they call the Trinity, which is nothing more than bell pepper, celery, and onions. Now that I've mixed the cornbread and stuffing together, I'm just adding the vegetables. Let me know down in the comments section, how do you make your dressing? Do you cook by taste or do you follow a specific recipe? Now, when cooking by taste, it is so hard to give exact measurements. Now, I can give you all the ingredients needed to make that dish, but how much is a whole other story. Y'all, I forgot all about the chicken stock. I didn't even slide that in at the beginning, but yeah, I'm using low sodium chicken stock. I'm gonna have to add a little bit extra salt just to give it more flavor because it is low sodium. And the only reason why I chose low sodium is because they didn't have the regular kind. Now I'm just going in and adding all of my different seasonings and tasting as I go to make sure I'm adding enough of everything. For those of you who don't use Jiffy cornbread mix, what do y'all use in your dressing? Do y'all use cornmeal and add all of the ingredients and make it from scratch? Or do you use a different brand of cornbread? I know this is a hot topic when it comes to making dressing. Now, one thing you can do is add a can of celery or chicken or mushroom, a can of whatever soup, and that's another way you can level up your dressing. So now I'm just going to place this in the oven and let it bake for 45 minutes at 375. Right now, I'm preparing my seasoned butter with all of the herbs and spices. I went with chicken because it was way cheaper than a turkey at Aldi. The cheapest turkey I could find was like around $15, and I paid like $6 for this whole chicken. So now I'm just gonna mix really well to blend all of the spices. The butter is not melted enough, so I'm gonna have to pop it in the microwave and melt it down. So now I got my girl Chickadee all clean and nice and washed. Cleaned her all on the inside, outside, and now she's laying on a bed of celery and onions and peppers. And now I'm just going to lather her up with this seasoned butter. So as you can see, I had to pop that butter in the microwave because it was just sliding right off of Chickadee. So I had to melt it, and now it's sticking to her. Now, one thing I do wish that I would have done a little bit differently is I wished I would have sprinkled some salt and pepper all over the front and back and on the inside of her cavity. I should have done all of that before putting that butter on there. But now I'm just adding the smoked paprika to give it that extra flavor and some color. And it looks like I'm gonna have to go back in and add some salt and pepper before I pop her in the oven. I'm just bringing the water to a boil. Someone asked, what do I do with the cheese packet? I actually saved them in my pantry. My kids like those individual macaroni cups, so they can use these packets to add more cheese to the little individual cups. Now, I bought 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese this time because they asked for more. They demolished that macaroni and cheese the last time I cooked it. So now I'm just making more. Plus, they have their best friend here. And y'all know 3 teenage boys can eat the whole pot by themselves. Just one of them can eat the whole pot by himself. So now I'm just adding Creole seasoning, and I'm seasoning to taste. Now, how many of you out there make a roux when you cook your mac and cheese? Now that makes the best mac and cheese hands down. Today we're keeping it simple. When you're making a roux for mac and cheese, that wrist is working double overtime. So we gonna save that wrist action today, and we're just gonna keep it simple and add these simple ingredients. Fun fact about sharp cheddar: you can save more money with this flavor because the taste is so strong. You don't have to use as much as you would with other cheeses. But I like mixing sharp cheddar with mild and mozzarella or Kobe Jack. Other cheeses weren't in the budget for me, so I went with what gave me the most bang for my buck, and that was sharp cheddar. Now that the flavor is on point, I've mixed everything really well. I've added all of my seasonings. Now I'm just adding the egg. Now remember, once you add the egg, you can no longer taste it because we don't want to be eating raw eggs. So now I'm just going to spray my casserole dish down and add my macaroni. Now if you want that ooey gooey cheesy pool from the middle, you're going to have to add your cheese in layers. You can add as much as you want or as little as you want. Now I'm going to take my casserole dish and place it in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 minutes. The first thing I'm going to do is chop my sausage and vegetables. You can totally use andouille sausage or whatever meat you like in your greens. I'm going to saute my vegetables in bacon fat, and then I'm going to add my meat. But first, I'm going to get out my chopper that I bought from Aldi a few months ago when they had them on sale for $9.99. I'm just adding my onions, my bell pepper, my celery. I'm doing the Trinity in my cabbage greens. Now that I've heated up the bacon fat, I'm just going to add my vegetables. And once my vegetables are sauteed, I'm going to add the garlic because we do not want the garlic to burn. And now I'm just adding my sausage, and I'm just marrying all of those flavors together. And then I'm going to add my cabbage greens. Now I've already chopped and washed all of the cabbage greens. I've already taken out that hard core and put it in my compost pile. Once I get all of the cabbage greens in the pot, I'm just going to let it cook down. I'm going to go ahead and season it with this Cajun season. And this is about as far as I got as far as filming these cabbage greens, because my neighbor called and told me that she was harvesting collard greens and told me to come on over and get a few. So I put my boots on and headed over to her house, and this is what I got. What I'm going to do is place these in the refrigerator until I'm ready to cook them with the other collard greens that I got from the store. So I'm just going to blend them all together. What I didn't film was me putting red pepper flakes and salt and pepper into the cabbage greens to finish seasoning it. The first thing that I'm going to do is add my peaches to the pot. The kind of peaches that I grabbed were in light syrup, so I'm just adding white sugar and brown sugar to taste using a 1/4 cup. I don't want to go overboard because it's easier to add to than to take away, so I'm adding my sugar in small doses until I get it to my desired sweetness. Same with the cinnamon, I'm just adding to taste. And if you notice, I did cut up the peaches because I like them in smaller chunks. I did go ahead and add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla flavor, and now I'm just going to add some butter, like 2 tablespoons, and then I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, then I'm going to place it in my baking dish. Y'all, when I tell you this pie crust had me ready to give up, this pie did a number on me. I had to go sit down after this pie because so many things went wrong with it. My son's best friend brought home nothing but cakes, and I think that's where it all started. I'm like, when I saw them nothing but cakes, I'm like, do we really need peach pie to go along with all of this food? We got these bundt cakes. Y'all see the mistakes that I made. I let my pie crust sit out too long, and then I stuck the pie crust on top of the hot peaches. Probably should have left that pie crust in the refrigerator instead of taking it out, but I was able to salvage this pie. It's not going to look pretty. It is not going to look pretty, but I guarantee it's going to taste way better than it looks. I just want to let you know that mistakes happen. Learn from that mistake and keep it moving. It is okay to make mistakes. I'm just adding butter to the top of the pie crust. Some people use an egg wash. Either is fine. They both create that golden brown color on top. I also cooked candied yams because my family did request candied yams again. If you want to see how I made these candied yams, I'll link the $20 Thanksgiving budget Walmart video in the description box, and I go through my process of making candied yams.
Trying the chicken first.
Wait, I'm trying to drop mine.
Trying the chicken first. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hang on. I didn't even try it all yet. Okay, that's like just like this is fire. It's okay. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you try? The chicken? Yes, sir.
It's time.
Try it.
Yeah, sure.
Let me try the mac and cheese. Oh, yeah. Have you already left? Oh, no. Oh, mommy gotta get a bite. Come on, little girl. Well, soup down. Come on. Gotta get some of the candy yams. Come on. It's too good.
I pray that you all have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families, love on them all Thanksgiving. Make this Thanksgiving one to remember, especially if you have older relatives. Really love on them, learn from them, talk to them, spend time with them. And I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will see y'all in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.